Hi there, and welcome to this holistic yoga video where we're going to look at how to support your back using your butt, using your glutes. So it's a big problem that inactive glutes fail to support the back, and then the back is under more load and more strain, and that's one of the reasons why our backs complain. So this is a short sequence you can do to remedy that whole situation, and in and of itself it can really sort out your back if the problem is to do with inactive glutes. Let's give it a whirl. So come to your mat and lie down on your back. And bring your feet a little bit further forwards than you might think, so there's a right angle at the back of your knees. Take your palms facing upwards and feel how your back is on the floor. Just notice if the back of your pelvis is rolling a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Notice how your shoulder blades connect with the floor. Notice your head and your feet. And take a few deep breaths into your belly. So not to skip this, the diaphragmatic breath into your belly is key to helping your back health and your overall health, because that's how we oxygenate every cell, is to breathe deeply using our diaphragm. So inhale, belly rises, exhale, belly falls. If you find this hard, there are other videos that you can check out, the 3-part breath and the diaphragmatic breathing video. Because getting this right is a big, big part of helping back pain. Getting your breathing right, inhaling into the belly. And exhaling, letting the belly drop down back towards the back wall of your abdomen. So nice. This type of breathing also calms your nervous system, which helps to calm down any pain signals that you might be experiencing. Okay, and then turn your palms to face upwards. And if it's okay for you to straighten your legs, then straighten your legs. If it's not, I'll give you another alternative. But if you can, straighten your legs and squeeze one butt muscle. So this butt muscle is squeezing. You can see I've lifted a little bit perhaps. I'll put my hands here so you can see. And then I'm going to let that go and you can see it release. Now this butt muscle is squeezing. You can see I tip towards the opposite side of the pelvis and then I'm going to let it go. You can see it release. Now, this should be perfectly comfortable for everyone, but some people who have sacroiliac dysfunction might find this increases pain. Very rare, but it might do. So if that's the case with you, squeeze both butt muscles and release. Squeeze both butt muscles and release. But if you can squeeze independently without any increase of pain, carry on doing this. This is what you have to do when you walk. Yeah, you have to use one butt muscle from the leg behind you for the leg behind you. Then it switches off as you swing it through, and then you use the other butt muscle. So notice if one is switching on and if the other one is not so active. Yeah, there might be a sense of one's like, yep, I can switch on, it's really easy, and the other one's a bit more reluctant. It's a very common thing and a very common contributory factor towards back pain and sacroiliac pain. So again, if it feels like it's getting tweaky doing those single ones, then do a few double ones. Squeezing both buttock muscles and releasing. Squeezing both buttock muscles and releasing. And if you're not sure about whether you are or not, you can kind of stick your hand underneath and just feel, is it tensing up? Is it kind of firming up? And then it goes all squishy when you release. Okay, so you might want to draw your knees into your chest now, holding on to your kneecaps, and have a little rock. That relaxes the muscles around your sacrum that might have got over-involved in that movement. Now, if you found the single glute squeezes comfortable, you're okay to do this next one. If you didn't, then you might need to do this next one with both knees bent and squeeze one butt muscle. So I'll show you here. Squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing. Yeah. But ideally you would do this with one leg straight. So it looks like this. Squeezing, slowly releasing. Yeah, so whereas we were releasing sort of quite quickly before, here we're going to do a slow release. So we slowly squeeze up, only go as high up as feels nice for you. So quite a twist for your pelvis. You can go higher if it feels deliciously lovely. Of course you can. And then you slowly release. Now the thing about this one is that you want to imagine you've got a cup of tea on your knee. And you want to start with the weaker glute. So in that previous exercise with both legs straight, you might have discovered, oh yeah, there was a weaker glute. Start with that one. You're squeezing that glute by digging down into the heel, keeping the knee straight up. And the pelvis tilts, this glute lifts way up, or a little way, could be less. And then you're rolling back down again. So press down into your heel, squeeze and roll. And then release and drop back down again. Now, if this feels really uncomfortable, you can do a tiny lift, digging down into your heel. And here I'm not even quite lifted away from the floor. I can maybe just put a finger underneath and then release. Or you might even do it in your imagination. And notice that as you squeeze, abdominal muscles switch on, your shoulder blades stay rooted on the ground. You might even find your head rolls to the side that you're squeezing and then rolls back to center. Okay, have a little go on the other side. So when I describe this pose, it's like this leg, the bent leg is doing bridge pose, that whole side of the body, and the straight leg side is doing Savasana, that relaxing pose. So that straight leg side does nothing. So you squeeze and then slowly release. Notice how the straight leg side, the knee is rolling out, the foot is rolling out, the hip is rolling out, the thigh bone inside the hip socket. And then release. Notice if there's any tweaks or twinges. You can let your head roll, if it feels nice, to the bent leg side. Remember that there's a cup of tea on your knee, so you don't want to wave it around. Keep it upright. You might do a little wobble, that's okay, but you don't want it kind of rolling in like a lying twist, yeah? So your knee doesn't roll out or roll in at all, it stays upright. Keep this buttock muscle relaxed on the straight leg side and use this buttock muscle. So this will be your stronger buttock muscle, so you can kind of feel how it feels to work with your stronger one. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the weaker buttock muscle one more time. Digging into the heel. Make sure the stronger buttock muscle doesn't help on the straight leg side. That can cause problems. So squeezing and slow release. You feel the back of the pelvis kind of melts back down onto your mat. The knee stays upright, rolling, slow release. And rolling. And slow release. Great. So we're going to come up to child pose, again to give that sacrum a little bit of a rest. Take one arm up behind you. Let's do it this way. Take one arm up behind you, roll over onto your side, so you're resting on your arm. And then use this top arm to push you up, and you can come into child pose. So for child pose, if you have knee problems, you could put a rolled up blanket between your calves and your thighs. Any ankle problems, you could put a rolled up blanket underneath the front of your ankles. Any back problems, prolapse discs, keep your hips higher and rest down. If you don't have any prolapse discs, then you can take your head onto the ground and your hips lower onto your heels. You could also stack your fists up, your shoulders away from the ears. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Your jaw is soft, face is soft. And breathe, and notice how you're broadening and widening in your lower back area where your sacrum is. Relaxing and breathing into the back of the body. Okay, we're going to lie down on the front and do one of two exercises here. Rest on your hands. I like to make this kind of triangle shape with my thumb and index fingers, and then rest my head on that shape. So it's right up on the top of my forehead, so I tuck my nose in, back of the neck is long. And we're going to work with those glutes again, so you're lifting and lowering and releasing. Lifting, lowering and releasing. So the glutes lift the leg, not so much the hamstrings, the backs of the thighs. See if you can really activate the glute muscles. You could even put your head on the floor and put your hands on your glutes and just kind of prod around and see, does it get firmer when you lift the leg? And can the other glute stay relaxed as you firm up the glute that's lifting the leg? Now if that feels easy peasy, you can do another one with bent legs, squeezing up and releasing. This can irritate some people's backs, so go with the straight leg one if this is feeling a little bit pinchy in your lower back. And you're pushing up the ceiling. Notice how my soles of my feet are facing the ceiling, and I've got quite a bend at my knee, like a right angle at my knee. You can feel a bit stretchy in the hip flexor as well, which is great. Okay, and then tuck the toes under. We're going to finish with this sacroiliac stabilizer. Lift the knees. Squeeze the buttock muscles, thigh muscles, calf muscles. Push into your toes. Tighten around your knees, ankles and glutes. And relax your upper body. So lower body is really tight, really squeezing, really engaged. All the way through from the feet to the glutes, maybe even the lower belly. Upper body from the rib cage upwards is melting, relaxing and releasing. Tighten, tighten, tighten. And then slowly release the thighs. Tops of the thighs, middle of the thighs, knee end of the thighs. And then point the toes. Slowly roll the heels out. Toes point in and relax. Relax the whole body. And breathe into the diaphragm again. Breathe into the belly. Now, if you find this exercise useful, but the back is feeling tight, you can lie over a pillow for all these front lying exercises. So you lie over a pillow vertically from your belly all the way down to your thighs. Hopefully you feel it's okay and you can breathe into the belly, into the pillow, into the floor. And then when you exhale, the belly moves a little bit away towards the back wall of the abdomen. So you're working your diaphragm here, which is great for back pain, really helpful for your breath, health of your breath, and the health of your back. Okay, and then tuck your toes under. Let's reach one arm forwards, roll over onto your side, bend your knees, push up. And you might like to finish with one more child pose if you have time, or you might want to get on with your day. Namaste.